so that should be going. Hope everybody's having a good Friday. Awesome. Just a heads up, I'm eating carrots and ranch, so don't bother or ignore that. As it's easy. So, does anybody have any questions they want to start off with, or anything right off the bat? I don't have any specific announcements to run through other than next week, 7th through the 10th, we're going to be at POD Live, which is exciting. So there's going to be a lot of fun stuff going on there. And other than that, a lot of preparation for Level Up in October. A lot of fun stuff that I'm not allowed to talk about, but I'm really excited about in there. So if you're going to Level Up, definitely come check out the booth that we're going to have there. I don't think there's any specific agenda today. So yeah, if you guys have questions or, anything that way, feel free to fire away.
Will you be at POD?
I will.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
Yeah, and I'm dragging my boyfriend along too. So
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'll get to meet everybody too, which will be interesting. He's a lot shyer than I am. So
Really? Well, now that you gave me that insight, I'm going to play on that when I meet him.
Yeah.
Okay. I heard you were like the life of the party and da da da.
My cat.
Are you familiar with kind of like the release of the snapshots and things that's going out now for 2.0?
With the
business?
automation library?
Yeah.
I'm a little bit familiar. I can also ping Zach.
Okay. Because Zach sent me, some of the new ones that were released, but
Right.
he sent some links. I just want to make sure that this is correct. He sent me some links, and then there was, I guess, a mistake in the links. He sent another one, and then he sent another set. I just want to make sure that, because all the links are different, the strings are different. So I just want to make sure that if I upload any one of them, when any updates are pushed, they all are the same kind of link. Just
Gotcha.
want to make sure that is the same. Oh, Beyond probably knows the answer to that question.
What's the question?
So the question is, so Zach recently sent me some new links for the small business snapshot 2.0. Some new modules were released. And so when I got the first email, well, basically the 3 emails that were sent with different links, because the one that was mistaken, the second one, I guess was something else, but I was able to install them. But then I got another email today saying that some people experienced some issues with the other links. But I just want to make sure that, as long as I install them, if any new updates are pushed to those links, do I need to have make sure I have a specific link, or does it not matter?
That's
I also messaged him. Yeah, I sent him a message, and if he can't respond or jump on, I also made note of like your name and stuff for him so that he can reach out to you directly as well.
Okay.
Yeah, my assumption is generally with snapshot links, anytime an update is made to a snapshot, it doesn't go through the existing link. You have to reinstall it using the new link, in case that's what you want.
Oh, okay. So there's not so if I have 3 links that actually work, for instance, it doesn't matter which link I put in, because there's an update. Yeah. It's going to be a brand new link.
It's going to be a brand new link. Yeah.
Okay, then that solves it. Then. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Beyond, did you have anything you want to talk about? I was kind of teasing POD next week. Do you have anything specific you want to tease?
POD's coming next week, but I found an image that Sean shared. Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up. And this was something very amazing. Sean, you remember this?
When you're talking about Sean, I thought you was talking about Sean.
Me too.
I went through one of the posts in the main group, and I saw a comment, and it had this image in it, and it was you sharing it.
Yeah, so now that this came up, I wanted to definitely say, before, and this is no like thing to make your head big or anything like that whatsoever, but seriously, coming into this community and getting onto Extendly, I was really worried about the growth of my business, of things, really happening in my business, because I was like, there's no way for me to handle it. And then coming into Extendly, meeting the team, meeting you guys, dealing with support. I mean, it's phenomenal. I've never experienced the level of support and caring from any company. And I've been around for 20 years in businesses doing, dealing with different software companies and things like that. And then I've never, ever experienced the level of commitment, especially if I have an issue and I reach out to Extendly on support. I mean, they go the bat in terms of, really trying to look out and trying to get the situation solved and stuff like that. So it's phenomenal. So that's why, that's where that post came from. That's where, that's why I I posted that.
Awesome. Thank you. We appreciate that. We definitely, try the hardest to ensure success by our clients because, it may be different for other companies, but we realize here that our business isn't the only one that's dependent, meaning our clients aren't the only one that's dependent on our business. Your clients are also dependent on us. So if we don't do our job, we're actually setting you up for your failure, something that's not even in your control, because you just hired a company who's supposed to do a great job, and unfortunately they're failing, right? So we understand that impact that we have on our clients' success. So in order for us to do a great job by our clients, we drill that in with our team on a regular basis. That's the level of responsibility and liability we have, so we can't let them fail.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, and every time there was on the weekends, I was having an issue with the Snapshot, had a lot of questions, and Zach was responding to me at like 11, 12 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, geez, dude, go to sleep. I felt bad for even asking another question after that. So it's amazing. It's really amazing. So thank you so much for what you're doing with the company.
Thank you for recognizing. I'm glad it's helping out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi guys.
Hey Nick, how's it going?
Hey, Nick.
Sorry I'm late.
Hey, Nick, did you get your person into the group by chance?
I'll check with him. He's my son. I'll check with him.
Okay.
Let's see. I've been so crazy busy these last couple of days. It's just
Yeah, no worries.
oof.
Hopefully good busy.
Yeah, good. And yeah, we had
Life.
a funeral life. Yeah, we had a funeral this week, and it's been crazy.
Oh,
But yeah, but I'm here.
ready to rock.
I'm ready. How's everyone doing?
Doing well. We got POD next weekend and level up after that. I got little countdowns on my fancy little stream deck now that says we are 6 days away exactly from POD and 52 days from level up.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see all of you there.
Mhm.
Who else going to POD?
I'll be there as well.
Awesome.
Nice.
Rob, are you going?
I don't even know what POD is.
So
someone enlighten me, please.
I'm just like,
It's Prospects on Demand. It's the conference they're having, and it's in Tampa.
Who's hosting that?
Alex.
Alex Shalinsky. Yeah.
Yep, Alex Zelinsky. Anyone else going on this call?
I'm going. So I'll see you there, Nick.
Yeah.
I'm going, dragging my boyfriend along.
Nice.
Yeah, my son's going, so I'm excited about getting him going and getting everyone, getting him exposed, and he's going to start selling. He just graduated from high school, so he's coming in fresh blood.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Totally. I think it's gonna be really exciting. That's kind of why I want to drag my boyfriend along too, is just like so he can just experience what other people do, and because we're still, he's 23, so he's still figuring out exactly what he wants to do and what his thing is. So I'm just like, just come talk to people. These people do all sorts of things.
Making me feel old. Anybody else there?
James, Phil, I wouldn't ask you. I met you being on, I want to say maybe 2 years ago. I don't know if you remember talking to me. I got on a call with you, and after a couple of years, I finally circled back around and started using GHL for my organization, as well as I bought the agency. I don't know, probably the right word, but SaaS plan. And then I went to the freelancer plan because I'm not using SaaS yet, but I'm a small business guy out in a kind of rural area. And I got on board and I bought the small business snapshot because I wanted to bring some value to the local businesses in my community. So I'm going out doing a little bit of an old fashioned outreach by reaching out to small businesses. And I'm not sure if this is the right forum. I know there's a couple different like kind of training calls and stuff like that. And I put a couple on my calendar. This is the first one I've got on. And but I'm literally going out to lots of different types of businesses, walking in their door. And there's a couple things I'm trying to accomplish because I have an existing business that provides services like hard services. It could be payments, processing, point of sale, credit card, telephone. I have like my own small business telephone internet. So those are like hard services, but I want to build my business in some other ways. So I'm a nerd. I love playing with all this stuff. I'm just learning and starting to implement it in my own business. But I was looking for some direction as far as some, within the snapshot that I already have, the things that I can implement easily for other small businesses as either a kind of like using it to bring them in the door, using it to add value to the conversation we're having, or, there's a couple different plays I could do within that. Give them a free setup of one thing and then add on some other things like upsells and stuff like that. So that's where I'm at, but I really don't even know where to start. So I'm just gonna be honest, I'm just green.
Yeah. I would instead of offering the whole thing, I would start with just the couple of very specific features that are easy to implement, missed call text back being one of them, the website chat widget and the review reputation being the other two. That's really where I would start. Just offering people the ability to have a tracking phone number connected to their Google business profile and maybe their website, where it's able to track incoming calls and fire off a message if the call is missed. So that snapshot has an advanced level missed call text back a workflow automation in there under the Z003 a workflow folder, and I'm sorry, Z005 workflow folder. That's where the missed call is. So the you're able to send any sort of message you want to the prospects whenever a call is missed. Matter of fact, you can even send a message if a call is just received, regardless of if it's missed or not. We do that at our restaurants, where anytime we receive a call, if it's a completed call where we actually answered the call, then we say, hey, thank you for calling in. By the way, did you know you can also order online for future? Here's the online ordering link. And then we wait a day later and we send them out a text message. How was your experience? Hopefully you enjoyed the pizzas. Would love to hear about your experience from you, right? And then we ask yes or no, did you have a good experience or not? And then they respond appropriately. And if it's a missed call, we let them know that, hey, it looks like everyone's busy busy helping other customers. By the way, you can order online. Here's the link, right? Those are sort of the things that you're able to do with that. Missed call sounds, very, very small and very easy. But I mean, yes, it is easy to implement, but there's a huge value to it. You're actually able to save customer calls and have them retain more business from the calls that they're already getting. The other thing that this is sort of a hidden feature that no one talks about, but we've actually used So there's a call recording feature within it, right? So we've actually used the call tracking number because it records the call in the conversation section. You can listen to the conversation your team member had with the customer. So we've used it to improve our customer service and listen to those calls, and then going back to our team members and saying, hey, that's not how you're supposed to answer the call. This is what you need to say. This is how you need to take care of the concern of that nature. So that's one. Review request is another one. Everyone needs more reviews on their profiles. Having the reputation piece is another one for businesses. And then of course, conversations with the whole database reactivation type of thing, right, leads right into that as well, where you're able to send out messages to their existing database. And also another reason why I really like missed call text back is because you're collecting a database of phone numbers that are calling you in, and you're adding them into your CRM.
Yeah, that's great. Those are going to be things that I think, because I'm a little bit, like I said, lost with where I should focus that conversation. Say, hey, we're doing some things, we can get you started off with something for free, right? And that just opens a door to maybe a different type of conversation than going in and leading with one of my products that I'm hoping to have an opportunity to pitch on, right? So build a relationship. I am looking for, and I appreciate the few you gave me. Is there like somewhere like an exhaustive list of, maybe not exhaustive, but like highly recommended list of like what we can do? Because that's where I'm just a little bit like, okay, like I can see some of the features, but how do I connect that to a small business? Like a lot of these small businesses are, they're just small businesses. Like they like the idea, but they'll never implement on it. And if I don't have a way to just make it really simple, which is what I was, hoping to accomplish, buying Snapshot and say, here we have a plug and play. I'm buying the support from you guys so that I can help to get those things plugged in where I'm not taking too much on myself, because I'm just a small business guy myself.
Yeah, absolutely. There actually is a based on the small business snapshot. We did a video, I think last year sometime, where we broke down where each one of we actually did like a 3-tier approach, where we said, tier 1, you should have all of these items, and here are all the features that the small business supports with. And this is where it links to. I just put the YouTube video link in there in the chat for that if you want to grab that. But that goes in it's, I think it's almost a 2-hour video, but it goes in very detail of relating the small business snapshot to high-level features and how you can position which features you can position as a solution to a pain point for a small business.
Awesome. That's awesome. Exactly what I was looking for. Thank you.
Yeah. So that's your exhaustive list of 60 features explained in there.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thanks. I will go through that.
Yeah. I'm also going to jump in here and just say that in terms of like training yourself and your team, snapshots are great. They're obviously like all the templates you need, customize them all. But at a certain point, you and your team also want to know the system in and out in order to add on to those snapshots, customize your snapshots, and just manipulate them, troubleshoot them, the whole thing, and make them work for your specific industry niche or process goal, whatever that may be. So I also threw in our academy. We have 3 levels of training that is in depth on the software, what each feature does. There's a bunch of resources in there, workbooks, like every workflow trigger and action, what each one does, examples of how to use it, the whole 9. And right now we also have level 1 on sale. I'll have to grab that little thing there for you, 1 second. And then we also have the white label product, which is newer, that it's more focused on the benefits of like, why should you even care about using this thing? And then the how to, along with those resources and stuff. And those are more aimed for your clients and educating your clients, and you and your team can also learn from it, of course. But that's where the levels 1 through 3 are going to be really focused on high level and the software, learning how it works. And the white label version is going to be more for your clients, getting them into the system, actually using it, implementing something that makes it more sticky, like those missed call text backs, review and review requests, call reporting and tracking. And those are all lessons in there, and many, many more. And we're always adding and working on more every day.
Yeah, in regards to that, we're huge on educating agencies on the platform itself. I believe this platform provides a huge opportunity that shouldn't be missed. At least you should have enough of a shot at it to help become successful with this. So which is why the Academy platform, to help learn the platform itself. But not only that, I believe fulfillment is what ultimately makes your business a lot of money, right? Sean was just talking about it earlier when I was sharing the Wolverine photo there. I've always focused on fulfillment being a huge portion of our business, and I've always said that if you do a great job fulfilling your services, you'll have no shortage of sales. Yes, I understand that in the beginning you need to get sales in. That's the only time that you can fulfill. But once you get a little bit of the wheels turning and get some sales coming in, fulfillment becomes super crucial. So without learning the platform, you're not going to be able to fulfill properly and even know what solutions to provide for those pain points. So if anyone's new to HighLevel and still figuring out what it does, highly encourage you to check out the Academy. And there's a coupon code as well where you can get level 1 for like only $27. That's still around, right, Steph?
Yeah, I'm throwing it in the chat right now. So it's going to be the level 1.
Daryl's got a question. Daryl, what's going on?
Hey, how you doing?
Good, sir. Good. How are you?
Good. Actually, this is my first Extendly group call. I got Sharon recommended it the other day, so glad to be here.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
I got a question. First of all, I had a question. I think you answered it because I was listening to the first question. I had to take a call, so I jumped back in. The previous question was talking about the missed call text back, and you were referring to this business solution that basically it grabs the information and creates part of their CRM database. And was that the small business snapshot that you were referring to?
No, so the small business snapshot doesn't necessarily have anything to do with it. HighLevel itself does that for you. So when you get a phone number inside HighLevel that's associated with your account, and anytime someone calls that phone number, it's automatically adding that number as a contact inside your contacts of the CRM.
Okay.
So
the reason why I was asking, I was trying to figure out how I was going to implement that. I purchased my business partner and I purchased the hiring snapshot, and we're coming from a point of view of recruiting. And I was wondering how that would tie in if you needed to get another snapshot, but that's a high level feature that you're speaking about then. And so as long as they come in on that number, whether if they text or message, it's capturing that data automatically.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh,
and it's
okay.
building a list for you under the contacts section automatically.
Okay. So, that's good to know. So that, where do I find that feature in GoHighLevel? What is it? Is it missed call text back?
So missed call text back is just the ability to send a text message if a call is missed, right? But if you go under settings and phone numbers, that's where you would add a phone number. And once you've added a phone number to an account, if you call that number, then you go under contacts, you'll see the number that called that phone number is already there.
Oh, cool.
I have an idea. Should I play the missed call text back little video?
Yeah, sure. That'll provide a little bit of extra.
Yeah. Also, this is from our white label for the Academy. So these are the lessons that your clients would see and learn from, as well as yourself, if you'd like. And we're also in the process of kind of redoing the format. So just know that if in the future. But right, you got all these different lessons on the side here, little blurb about why it's important, key points, key benefits about it as well. And then this
Is this level 1 academy?
This is not. This is the white label academy. So there's levels 1, 2, and 3. This one is the white label. So if you go to GHL Academy, the ghlacademy.com/white labeled, I also threw that in the chat a little bit earlier. This is where you can sign up for these. But this is, can you hear it?
Yep.
Prevent missing out on 64% of inbound calls to small businesses that go unanswered daily. Having an automatic 24/7 missed call text back message is vital because it ensures that you never miss a potential lead or contact. The message can be customized to ask for more information and details or to book a meeting by adding an appointment link. This saves time and ensures that the lead or contact receives a prompt response, improving the chances of converting them into a customer. Once logged in, you will see various features and tools on the left sidebar. Let's start under your account settings. If you haven't already chosen your account's phone number, click the phone numbers tab to add your number. Starting under your business profile, you can customize your account branding, details, company information, address, time zone, and other settings. On the very bottom right of the screen, make sure to scroll if you need to. You will see the missed call text back feature. That's it. Make sure to follow any lesson instructions below and mark this as complete.
So it's more talking about like why the benefit of using the feature, and then goes a little bit more into the how to. We try not to go too far in depth, like to overwhelm the client in any way. And then it's just talking a little bit more through here about what those key points were, key benefits. But yeah, if you go to your account settings and under that business profile, you should be able to enable that and customize your message any way you'd like. And then as Beyond was talking about, that snapshot has more advanced workflows that allow you to add on to that and just, more customize it more, automate different things in the system that it just, that inherent feature doesn't do right away.
Yep.
So these are white label. I'm trying to understand, but when I look in the URL, it shows the ghlacademy.com. So they're going to know it's Go High Level. Even if it's
That's
white
just
label?
that's for signing up for it. So like if you wanted to get the program so you can use it with your clients, they don't see this link at all, that link at all.
Perfect.
Yeah, you would, in the sign up process, we ask you like, what subdomain do you want? You get to choose, and then it's branded to you. This is just the example, but yeah, that ghlacademy.com/white label link is just where you can go to sign up for the access to it.
Thank you for answering my questions.
Of course, happy to do so.
All right, Rob, you're up next, sir.
Hello. So I'm getting more familiar with you guys, and I just kind of have like some like macro questions for you in terms of how you got started with this, right? So like, how did you actually begin Extendly? And like, you're the main like CEO/founder, right?
Yeah, I just accidentally happened to be that. It was a pure accident how it got started. Long story short, the idea was there, and when we first built our first snapshot, people started asking for help, started asking if we can build a snapshot for them. Right, we did that. That led into, can you also provide support to my customers that were installing this snapshot in? right? Then that led into more and more customers sort of asking the same thing. And eventually you said, you know what, there's a real viable business here for providing tech support. And that tied into my personal goal. Growing up, I always thought of there's one day when I make it, I want to have, I call this thing a think center, that where anyone who doesn't have the resources to operate a successful business, we could be the ones providing the resources. And it turns out that Extendly has sort of shaped itself into that resource where we're able to provide resources to startup agencies in this SaaS world of providing tech support, these snapshots, and some guidance to how to go about their business. And that's helped people become successful with it as well.
Gotcha. I love that. And when did you actually start Extendly? Like how long ago was that?
This is June 2021.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I'm really impressed with everything that you guys offer, and you guys are doing an absolutely incredible job.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, so I have a couple of specific questions here. So let me just see. Okay, so first thing with the SaaS in the box, the snapshot, right? You guys are in the process of obviously updating your snapshots and going the more modular approach. So if we actually, get the SaaS in the box as of right now, in terms of updating to that new style, will there be issues with that?
That one is not under consideration for the modular approach, because the SaaS in the box only gets installed in one account one time, and
Right.
that's it, right? Versus the small business snapshot and other snapshots, you're installing those in customer accounts, and you're going to be installing those over and over again. So as an agency, you are okay with getting a huge snapshot that gives you all the bells and the whistles, right? Because you're going to take the time and spend the time to learn, because you need to, right? You just need to have that knowledge on your side. A business owner is not willing to do that because they're not a marketing agency. They're relying on a marketing agency to do their work. They want to worry about their business on a day-to-day basis. So they don't want to feel that overwhelm, which is why we took that approach of the modular on that side. So you're not loading in a huge snapshot and they're just immediately getting an overwhelmed of, oh my God, there's so many different things I can do. Where do I start, right? And then where do I start? Because there's so many things, they just don't do anything. Instead, with the modular, you start with this one piece. This is all you do, right? And then they're excited, it's working out. Okay, great, let's add in this other piece. And then that's how you sort of build on top. That's the approach there.
Yeah, and that actually makes perfect sense. Yeah.
And I know with the new updates and stuff, like the Academy team is also working with the Snapshot team to kind of come up with ideas for different resources that like a workbook that kind of gives you some resources about what the snapshot is to give to your clients and things like that. So if you guys have any specific ideas that you'd love to see in those, I'd love to hear it. But yeah, I'm also working with the team on, just making more resources for you guys can read through or, repurpose as well.
How about that module perspective is also easier because you can sell it easier. You can sell one feature or the benefits of one feature versus, trying to sell everything. It's just easier just to sell the benefits of just one thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Sort of staying ahead of what HighLevel is doing with their multi-plan approach on the SaaS configurator, where you're going to be able to build as many plans as you want, almost, right? I think they're coming out with 20 plans, allowing you to do 20 plans first from the currently being able to do just 3. So you can have a plan for just missed call text back. You can have a plan for just review and reputation, and then another plan for something else. So with the modular piece, you don't have to give them access to everything right out of the gate. You can install that missed call text back first, a feature first, and activate them and just let them run with that. And then when they want review requests, you can just add that piece in and now let them know that's activated. And that we also get a little bit of an upgrade or an add-on a revenue from selling the additional features.
Right. Perfect. Okay, cool. Thank you. And then taking one more step back in terms of the macro approach. So as Extendly has grown, you guys have made some acquisitions to kind of like diversify the offerings you give to agency owners, right? So that includes like the like animated videos and things like that. So you've kind of grown in that way, right?
Correct.
So this is just like a random question, but like with Stephanie, right? Like did you guys like acquire the HighLevel Academy, or how did that work out? I'm just curious. Or the
I can take that
HighLevel
question.
Academy. Yeah.
I can go on that one.
Yeah. So in March 2020, obviously COVID hit. I was sent home from the dorms. I was going to college for business in Winona, Minnesota. And my mom was like, she was running a high-level white label agency. And we still have that, cultivating sales, got SaaSpreneur award. My mom's speaking at the Level Up thing, like whole thing, right? And with that, I started working with her because COVID had nothing else to do, wanted $20, whatever, and ended up really liking it. I've always been a natural teacher. I've always loved teaching and just organizing things in a pretty way that makes sense, whatever. But it was really, really obvious really quickly that there needed to be that education piece. And a lot of agencies are like, okay, I really love roof marketing and like, or whatever, the gym membership marketing, whatever it is. They're not doing this to sit and answer questions as to why my form's not working. Okay, what form? What is it supposed to do? Why isn't it like, you're right? That's not what you started your agency for. You started your agency for the whatever passion it is. And it got really frustrating with clients, for them, for us, because we couldn't answer the questions at the same amount, like the record speed. And very quickly it became like me one-on-ones, open office hours, answering questions all the time. And I slowly started developing different workbooks and videos, and that kind of turned into a course. And it was like, oh wait, other agencies need this too, and there needs to be a way to have like a reliable source of help, because otherwise you're waiting on somebody that DM'd you on Facebook that says they know what they're doing, but they don't, or they don't respond, or it's not worth it what you paid for. And everybody was losing. So we were like, okay, let's just make this certification program thing, and it'll start helping people. And then it just like was like, oh no, we really need this. Like everybody really needs something like this. And so we slowly started like kind of reconfiguring it, and then offered it to other high levelers. And toward the end of 2022, Beyond was like, hey, I like what you're doing. And it obviously makes sense. Like I was the only one working on the whole thing. So like I was running out of bandwidth and I couldn't do it all by myself. They have an amazing team. They already have all these resources and team members and audience and money and all of that. And so it's like, yeah, like why wouldn't we partner? So we chose to partner together. And the selling factor for us was beyond saying like, how many people, more agencies can we help? And like how much he cared about the team and cared about putting food on the table for the end users. And like we really could tell you wanted to help people, and that was the selling factor for us, because that's what we wanted to do too. And we're like, yeah, okay, we're not just doing this because it's an easy cash grab, because it's a need in the community. It's something that we really care about doing, and educating and helping and seeing the results of people that were able to learn it and excel from there, and having people say that it changed their lives and things like that. So long story there, but ever since then, we partnered together. We've added more team members. We've more than quadrupled the number of members and the whole nine, and I don't regret it one bit. And I'm just excited to see where it goes and come up with more.
Yeah, that's absolutely awesome. And you can obviously tell like the intentionality that all you guys have, I love it. It's very intentional and specific, and you can tell you're passionate about helping people. So I do appreciate that. That's cool. Yeah, I just kind of was curious about how that kind of came together. So I love that. The last couple of questions here is like specifics. So in terms of the knowledge base versus the white label academy. And by the way, the academy is awesome. Like you are a great teacher, and like the way you structure those videos and like your voice and everything, honestly, is perfect. So I appreciate that.
Thank you.
But yeah, so difference between knowledge base versus the white label academy. Are those like documents versus actual videos, or what is that exactly?
That's a good question.
Yeah, essentially exactly that. I mean, we get that question quite a bit, and and we didn't know that's how it's going to be looked at. But the difference is in your client's perspective, right? Your knowledge base is a troubleshooting tool that someone goes and searches when they run into a problem with something. How do I do X? Right. So that's when they're searching knowledge base articles, trying to do to search that, versus the academy is, instead of it being reactionary, it's proactive. Right. We're trying to create adoption and reduce churn with the academy. And the purpose there is that right out of the gate, as soon as your customer signs up for an account with you for a subscription and a plan, we want to start introducing them to the abilities of the platform, the features, the benefits, and we want to educate them right out of the gate there, so that they're adopting and they're excited about using the platform, and they're using it on their own rather than just being dependent on the agency there. So that's the key difference between the two. The teaching to a degree may be similar, the videos to a degree may be similar, but one is more proactive, the other is reactionary. And reactionary, I find it is generally too late. And
they don't know what they're looking for. Like that's the issue. If they don't know what they're looking for, what are you supposed to type into the white label? And so kind of off of that too, also the white label is still something that we're working on, and so I have a lot of things there that's going to add a ton more interactive value into that as well. So it's going to be able to work with them and say, hey, follow along here, fill this out and put that in here, and like it's going to be way more directional structured than where they may then go, oh, what is that thing? And then go to the knowledge base and read an in-depth article on that thing, but they know what to look for now and they have more context. And it's just another way, like everybody learns differently. Some people learn from reading through the knowledge base articles. That's great. That's how I learned. And other people need something a lot more structured. And that's where, we're trying to go off of that as well.
Got it. So that is clear. Oh, did you want to add something, Beyond?
No, I was just going to say, let's keep things moving. Is there a question or otherwise?
I do have a couple more, but let's go to someone else and let's answer those, and if you could swing back to me.
Sounds good. Sean, let's go ahead and
I had spoken a little bit earlier. Let Carlos jump on in, and I'll go right after him so he can get his in it. Okay.
All right, Carlos, you're up, sir.
All right, cool. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, cool. I just had a couple of questions. The first one real quick is the snapshot that you were talking about earlier about the missed call text back for the restaurants. Which one was that you were talking about?
So the overall structure is in our small business snapshot, or in the automation library. It's actually throughout majority of our snapshots in a very similar fashion. And it's the Z005 folder in the small business snapshot. I don't remember exactly what it is in the automation library, but it lets you, it's an advanced level of the missed call. We just watched that video. The piece that we watched in the video is what's already pre-built in by HighLevel, and all it does is just sends you that missed call, how can I help you type a text message. And the problem with that is that it sends it to you every single time you call a phone number, right? So if you called 3 times in a row, and you missed a call 3 times in a row, you're going to get that same automated message every single time. We've made it a little smarter where you call right now and you call 3 times after that, it's only going to send it to you once. It's not going to send you that same message over and over again. So that's one piece. And then of course you can add different things to it, context wise.
Okay, cool. And I have one more question here. So the link that she put there for the $27 with a coupon, that's for the academy for us to basically master Go High Level, is that right?
Right. So that's the level 1 course, which helps you understand the core of how high level is built, the differences between the sub account, the agency level, this and that, right? And then there's level 2 and level 3. We do have a discount on level 2 as well, but that's only revealed to those that complete level 1. And once you complete level 1, then you'll get the code for level 2.
And anytime you upgrade at all in terms of the academy, you're only paying the difference between the levels. You're never repaying, like, and if you like opt in right into level 2 or 3, that's including 1 and 2, you know, like that's, you're not just buying level 3, that would include 1, 2, and 3. Otherwise, that level 1 is usually $2.99, but with level 1 as the coupon, you can get that for $27 at the moment. So
That's good. And on the page that I'm looking at here, the HighLevel Academy white label, the $99 a month, up to 10 clients. I'm a little confused about what exactly is all this. Is that like the same academy but for our clients?
essentially a little bit, yeah. So it's another resource that you would be able to like add to your agency left sidebar menu. They click on it, it opens up and has like those lessons that we were,
Yeah, the ones you
yep, like
showed
this
earlier, yeah.
one. So then basically you get access to this to use for your clients, and yeah, for $99 a month, you can use it for up to 10 clients and accounts. And then for $199, it's unlimited clients as well. And they get to like go through all of these, and we have different resources they can download and workflow guides, all of that fun stuff that they get access to just as
and that list that talks about right there is just basically everything that is covered for them.
Right. So this is a newer product, so we're still kind of going through all of the content in the academy and like slowly converting it over, updating all of it in the meantime as well. Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's it. Thank you.
Yeah, and got a lot, like I said earlier, we got a lot of fun stuff planned to add and grow. And
there's also I don't think we've ever mentioned this, but in the HighLevel Academy, the HighLevel Academy is all about implementation and adoption and being proactive with your client being able to use it. So there's outcome-based challenges that we've added on, and I'm not sure if they're live yet or not, Steph, but
this is the in limbo part of building out the new format.
So soon there's going to be those coming out as well, where your customer will be able to walk through a challenge. And the challenge is, let's say they want to do a database reactivation to their existing client list. So it's walking them through the step-by-step instructions of
do a little sneak peek.
Here's the benefit of doing this, and here's how you do it. And now let's actually go ahead and do it. Right. And it walks you through the steps. So there's workbooks, checklists related to that as well.
This is the in limbo part, but we're moving everything over and kind of formatting it. But like for this, we have like create an appointment challenge. And so it's talking through step 1, set up your integrations. Step 2, create your calendar. And in each of these, you got the other resources you would get, but also a worksheet specific to that step so that you can fill out that worksheet, follow along, and it's going to make sense side by side. You can fill it in as the video goes, expand this more, and it just like talks through why does syncing your calendars even matter? Why am I even asking you to do this? And then going into, okay, now go do it. How do we go do it? Well, we go to our settings and we go to integrations and we add that, and then we go to our profile, whole nine there. And then you go to step 2, create your calendar. Step 3, create your branded booking page. And step 4, create your automation to polish it all off.
If I bought an onboarding for one of my clients, for like I literally just started, so I'm getting my first client. How would that be implemented? Like if I did the $99 package over here, and then I bought an onboarding, would that be connected somehow or no?
Yeah, so the way the onboarding is connected to your checkout. Before we can onboard one of your customers, we have to have a mock onboarding with you to set up that connection and show you what we do during the onboarding, and if there's any custom stuff that you want us to do, based on your needs, right? So once that SOP is built, then you can start onboarding and sending customers our way, and we can start onboarding them on their own. And there's nothing really required for you to, in terms of sending them our way. We set up our funnel attached to your checkout page. So when they go to the thank you page, they land on our funnel, which is installed inside your account, and they're able to schedule the call, the tech call, fill in the form that we need, then schedule the training call and all of that. So it's very seamless and intuitive process there. But in terms of connecting it with the academy fires off an email after. I think there's a wait period, and Steph can tell us what that wait period is, but it fires off an email, says, hey, welcome, this and that, right? Explains, there's a little video and gives you a link. Click on this to learn about different things you can do. And then there's a few other emails that go out with delays in between to the customers that educates them on today, let's learn about this, tomorrow let's learn about this, and so on and so forth.
Right. So essentially, if you have a snapshot, the Extendly snapshots have a lot of nurture sequences in there that are amazing as well. And then for the White Label Academy, it would definitely probably be after their initial onboarding. Don't start overwhelming them on setting up missed call text back if they need to get their login and their phone number picked, right? So let them get through the onboarding, and then I would introduce that White Label Academy to them, and you can position it however you want for your business, of course, because it's white labeled. And that's when they can start going through that. And that, like Beyond said, there's a snapshot that you get to download that has a workflow with an introduction email, so you can send that off and start sending people through that whenever you're ready to do so. So if you don't want to launch it tomorrow, you can always wait and just add everybody to it whenever you feel you're ready for it. And then that's going to execute, like Beyond said, 2 emails, and then wait a week, another email. And it's kind of just teasing them a little bit as to like, hey, did you know that you could track clicks on a link? Did you imagine all the possibilities if you could do that? Well, guess what? We have a lesson on it. Click the link below to go watch it. It's like 2 minutes. So it's so easy to implement. And so we're kind of just like nudging them, and that goes every week. You can customize those. And of course, we're working on adding to that and updating, making those more advanced all the time too. And yeah, so then that kind of just becomes another nurture possibility that you can use for your people.
Awesome. Thank you.
Fantastic. All right, Sean, you're up, sir.
All right. So just quick question on, for instance, that whole checkout process. I built one site that has services and the SaaS attached to it. So it goes through that onboarding process with you guys when someone does a checkout. But and I don't know if I approached this the right way, but I ended up setting up another sub account and built out a site in there that's just for SaaS. Now, I don't know if I should have probably just built that. I can always transfer it to the main agency site that has the other account in it as well. But the question is should I link that to, like, in terms of, I want it to use the same kind of a checkout that goes through the onboarding process. So if I have 2 different sites that need to go through the same onboarding process, is it just a matter of creating a link for the same link for both of them? Is that basically what it would be, or
Yeah, I would just, the last step to the checkout process in the second account that doesn't have the onboarding linked to it. Once the checkout is complete, you know how it says, what do you want us to forward next? Enter in the
Yep.
URL. You just enter in the URL to the onboarding page, the first page of the onboarding funnel. And just have them forward there afterwards.
As
Okay,
long as
and I
you
would
have
just,
a link to that onboarding page, you can set that as your redirect anywhere.
Yeah.
okay, perfect. So I could have had it, put the site in the same account. Then it
Yeah.
doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay, got you. And then are there any kind of videos or anything you can suggest in terms of pricing, best practices in terms of pricing? Because for instance, even though I really want customers to just completely be on SaaS, I get a lot of customers, especially small businesses, that they really don't want to learn anything. They don't want to, they kind of want to be hands off and they just want everything done. But then I haven't wrapped my head around like what kind of pricing on time if I have to allocate services to them as well. Are there any best practices like any out there, or anything insight you can give in terms of the agencies that you've seen on that? And if it's a longer thing, I can always ask a question.
Yeah, so I'm assuming this is you as an agency wanting to set your prices based on your services for your customers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they're asking for, they don't want to, go in there and figure things out and learn anything.
Right. So more of, the add-on services to help them implement.
Yeah.
So pricing is extremely important to a business's success, right? How you price things can determine whether actually you're going to succeed or fail. So you have to price them appropriate to the value that you're giving to the customer as well. You can choose to price high, but if it's too high, no one's going to buy it. You can choose to price low, and if it's too low, it's going to feel too good to be true, and no one's going to buy it for that reason. Although you feel like you're giving a heck of a deal compared to what it's worth, right? But the mentality, the psychology behind it is just that, oh, it's too cheap. I don't want something cheap. I want something good, right? And then if it's too expensive, but there's not enough of value to it, oh, I thought it's supposed to be this good, but it actually didn't live up to it. So people relate price to the value of the product, the quality of the product, right? You need to relate price to the time you're investing to provide that value to them in case of service, right? So in your case, you're saying, I want to be able to go in and help that customer implement XYZ inside their account. So you need to first build out an SOP related to exactly what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, and the things you're going to touch upon. And then you need to decide, how long is this going to take me every single time I do it, right?
Gotcha. That's what I need. Like, is there any kind of SOP?
I have a worksheet that may help.
Okay.
The point of it is that you work through it, and you're kind of giving a quote right away, and then when you actually do the build, you're gonna like make note of how long it actually took you and like all of that, and then you can look at the retrospective quote of how long did I think it was $500, but it actually took me 40 hours to complete, so maybe I should up it a little bit.
Gotcha.
Let me grab that for you.
That's what I'm kind of looking for, to understand that, because I want to be able to pass that on to like an assistant, but I don't know it myself enough to be able to pass it on. So that's what I was need that clarity on in terms of, I can always speak to you guys both in person when I see you guys next week. So on this.
My suggestion on this would be, the first few times you do something new for a customer, and if it's a service that you're planning on launch, always just do it for free, just to get yourself the experience to know and put yourself through that process. That's what we do. Even at Extendly, when we launch something new, we either give it away just to see what the customers say. When we launched the HighLevel Academy, we were almost giving it away to people and getting their feedback to see what it was like. And then we said, okay, this is how we need to go about that.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I threw the worksheet in the chat. But
Thank you.
essentially it just asks some basics, and then you can write some notes while you're working through it and testing it, hours spent, client notes, my notes, and then your retrospective quote. The only other thing I'm going to throw out there is that we, on the cultivating sales side, we do some custom build work. So I did throw a link to a meeting with our team over there. If you want to outsource any custom builds, and we're working closely with the Snapshot team to kind of streamline specific builds using Extendly Snapshot. So like if you already have a snapshot, if you want us to go in and customize it or add to it, things like that, that's kind of where
Oh, that's great.
they lie in terms of, and just any other custom builds you may need or your clients may need as well.
Awesome. So when I come across different things, I'll just reach out to see if there's something that you guys can handle on your end, basically.
Yeah. So that link, the melissa.cultivatingsales.com/hl-explore, just book that meeting, and then that you'll meet directly with Melissa and Marla.
Sounds good.
They'll help map out and figure out exactly what you need or your client needs down the line, but it's always going to start with one initial mapping session and then go from there.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Rob, you're up.
Yes, okay, cool. Yeah, last couple of things here. In terms of the resource guide or the HighLevel Academy, if we have our SaaS plan oriented, or in terms of like, if we have SaaS plans with different features in each, right? Is there any way to specifically select and gate which features they have access to have resources on, so they don't get confused or overwhelmed about features that they don't have in their SaaS plan?
Yes. So any video that we're like referring to, like Yext listings, let's say, where that's something that is an add-on, we're always going to position it in the way of like, if you don't see it, reach out to your representative and talk to them. And then that's maybe like, we don't have that, or we turn that off. And part of the new format too that we're working on as well is where it's going to be very similar to the knowledge base that is there now, where you have access to that back end to turn things on and off. That's the route that we're currently kind of reconfiguring all of the content into that format for the long term. That then will be able to allow you to turn different ones on and off and for certain accounts. And for that, so if they don't have that feature, turn that lesson off. Cool. As well as you'll be able to add your own too. So if you wanted to go in and say, hey, here's another lesson on our help section, or this is how you upgrade to get that feature, you know, you can add those kinds of lessons. You'll be able to do that as well.
Perfect. That's beautiful. Cool. And then last thing here is in terms of the resource documents, I think I hopped on my first call with you guys like a few weeks ago and I asked this, but I can't exactly remember. In terms of if we have a custom theme, right, and custom CSS, is there any way that there is a service to orient those, any of those things, those resources for our custom theme in any way?
Yes, for an extra chunky fee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
it would take us going back and re-editing all the
Doing it
videos
all.
and things. We are working in terms of like the guides for the white label. There are all white labeled versions in the HighLevel Academy. So any lesson that has a download, it's going to be the white labeled version. It's not going to say Academy or HighLevel or anything. So you can like you can use those and repurpose them if you wanted to like make your own. But in terms of the videos, it would be definitely a custom thing we would talk about and go from there.
Yeah,
It won't
which
be-
makes sense totally.
But overall, it won't be worth it. I mean, the fee
Yeah.
associated to be able to do this and all the extra time required.
Yeah, because then all the updates moving forward too, that would be the other thing to consider.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you guys want it streamlined, of course, too. So it only
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Fantastic. Daryl, you're up, sir.
quick question. Just you dropped in the information about the I don't know if you say Z or Z 005 folder. Being Canadian, which one is it? But is that supposed to be in all of your snapshots, or because I don't find it in my hiring snapshot?
It might not be in the hiring snapshot, because hiring snapshots is probably the only snapshot that's a bit different than majority of the business level snapshots. So it may not be there, but I'm gonna check for you right now to see if it is or not.
Okay. And while you check that, I'll get Stephanie's attention for a second. Stephanie, I had got kicked off. I don't know what happened. I had a flash in my internet and I got kicked off. So I don't have the beginning part of the chat. So I sent you a direct message to maybe.
Is there a specific part of it that you'd like, or just
if you can just before 1:40 p.m. Pacific time.
Oh,
if you can just
like
drop. Yeah, it's Pacific. So
Yeah.
I'm in Vancouver, Canada.
Gotcha. Let me do that.
Daryl, yes, it's not in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have to buy another snapshot in order to get that? Is that?
You don't need to buy a whole snapshot now. So this is exactly why we built the automation library. So you can buy it modularly to only the items you need. Let me see if I can.
And Daryl, I uploaded the chat document into the chat, so you should be able to download that to get all of those messages.
Wonderful. Thank you. Much appreciate that. I will save that.
It is, I think it's getextendly.com/highlevel-automation-library. Yes, nailed it.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna pull it up here on my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so if you go down here in one of these systems, it's the conversation management. So this has the whole phone system thing in there, and it has the missed call text back portion of the workflows in it.
Okay. And so that's under high-level
Yeah, here I'll
automation
link-
library. Gotcha.
link in the chat as well. So you can take a look at it. Yeah,
Wonderful.
so that's that. And these are, I think they're $199 for each of the modules. Yeah, they're $199 each, so you can buy individual ones instead of having to spend $1,000 on buying a snapshot.
Right. Perfect.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Thank you both.
All right, sounds
course.
good.
Just quick question. Is the team already trained on 2.0 in terms of the small business snapshot?
So the small business snapshot 2.0 is in private beta. It's not released to everyone yet because we're gathering feedback on it. Once it's finalized, then we'll train the team on it.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, I do have another question that came
Go
up.
for it, go for it.
For the animated videos, I'm very, very interested and honestly about to pull the trigger on those. I did shoot a message to support, and they're confirming that since I have custom CSS, if we can actually go forward with it. So I'm just curious, what would not make someone eligible to actually get those animated videos done?
How much custom is it? Can you share your screen so I can see?
Actually,
We do ask you for a screenshot of your dashboard. So if it's just colors and whatnot that are different, they will take that screenshot and add it into the video wherever it's shown. But if it's like, top bar navigation and this and that and very elaborate, then it won't.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. I need to paste the code in because I currently have it disabled. So I'll do that in a second. And then I guess an additional question I had, which truly is the last one, is with regards to snapshots. Let's say we have multiple snapshots for onboarding, right? Now, from what I'm aware of is that for the onboarding, you work with us to have an SOP for a snapshot, but let's say we have multiple different snapshots. Do we essentially create SOPs for every single one? Like, how does that work? If that makes sense.
With the onboarding team?
Correct.
Correct. You would.
So if we have like 10 different niches that we're working with, we'll have 10 different snapshots and we'll create an SOP for all those, and then it just gets bucketed accordingly, or what?
Yeah. So we would in advance, we would need to know which client is this snapshot getting installed. So, and we would onboard them onto that.
You could automate that for the most part in terms of like using a form that your team fills out, and this could be part of the academy as well in level 3 with like the internal stuff where, you know, if you fill out a form as the contact with sticky contact off, and like the team updates and fills in their this plan, their this onboarding, whatever, and there's like a form they fill out and has those fields. When that form is submitted, that could automate an email to the team saying, hey, this is this person's info, boom, 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 with those custom fields there. It could go into a Google Sheet, it could go into an email, but essentially just passing that information along through the contact record itself.
And that would be for you guys on onboarding.
Yeah, it would essentially just be able to take like information from the contact record saying that they're onboarding type 1, SaaS plan type 2, and going to automatically send that to the team. And then they can go, oh yeah, that person's that cool. I'll use this SOP.
Gotcha. Perfect. That makes sense.
Yeah. And I have more info on that. Feel free to email me. I can help out.
Will do. And yeah, here is kind of my custom CSS. I know there's like an extra menu, like side menu like added here, but for the most part, it's.
Yeah, this is no problem.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Perfect. All right. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys.
All right.
With that SOP that you mentioned, is that something that we already have that we can submit every time? Okay, so I need to look in my.
I don't know if I wouldn't say it's an automation. It's definitely something, it's not in any of the snapshots. It would definitely be something that you would kind of custom make.
Oh, okay. So we have.
Yeah, so the best I can do in terms of explaining it right now is throwing a workbook in the chat that I had made. Kind of going through it. I'm gonna let that load, but I'm uploading that. Feel free to download that. That kind of is at least a workbook that's gonna explain this, because this isn't a base that I actually go through in level 3 because it's a little bit too heady that I find. But if you run through that and if you get stuck, feel free to shoot me an email, and I can help advise. But pretty much the main points is the fact that you're making a form that your team is going to fill out as the contact, and that sticky contact is turned off, because otherwise it's going to overwrite the same contact over and over again if it's the same team member filling it out. And then through that form, because the system thinks that the contact filled it in, that can then automate other processes. So we use this a lot in terms of like after appointment results, right? So we have an appointment, it sends us, hey, you just met with this person, click this link to the form and fill it out and tell us how the appointment went. So we click on the link, it opens up the form for us. We can add a little code that's in that workbook where it even brings all the contact info in, so I don't have to rewrite their name or their email. It'll fill that in for me, and then I can completely customize that form to whatever I want. So this is also how we grade the internal, the long answer exams for the academy. This is also how we grade them, where it sends us an email and then we fill out our little grading form, and then they either passed or they failed, and it automates off of that. So it's just creating that internal form, whatever you want the system to know, whatever you want your team to tell them. It could be a project update, after appointment results, quote proposal. Anytime you want to just give the system info and have it continue some sort of process or fire off some sort of process, this is my go-to for it. But same thing
Alright.
works for surveys if you need it to be a survey, and it works for calendars. So if you wanted to like redirect them from a checkout page to a calendar page or a contract page, you know, these kinds of little codes will also pass that information. So very usable.
Thank you very much. And Carlos, sorry about that. I didn't see you had your hand up. I think I jumped ahead of you. All right.
Sure, you're up, Carlos.
Yeah, going back to what you said earlier about the onboarding. So we go through an onboarding first before a client, and that happens when I go ahead and order one for my client.
So you order the first one, you order, you're essentially prepaying. So the mock onboarding and the setup is free. We don't charge for that. You're gonna go and order one, and that is a prepayment to your first onboarding. So we're going to credit that towards your first onboarding that we do for your client. But the process to that is, let me pull up the page. Go. So you go to this page, you go, and these are the packages available. So you get the first one, right? Buy now, you pay for it. You're not entering any of your client's information, you're entering your information. And by the way, as a side note, anytime you're on any one of our websites that are externally or high level related, and never enter any of your client's information in there. Otherwise, you're going to expose them to the white label there. So here you go and enter in your information. You'll get a call with their team, and they know that this is the mock call to build an SOP, and they'll go through that with you, share all the details, and then when you're ready, we bill you after. If you're under the a la carte plan, then we bill you after. So the first one you've already paid for, this is going to get credited to the onboarding. Then next time the second onboarding comes in, we're going to finish the onboarding, then we're going to charge you for the onboarding after that.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Sounds good.
Hey, I have the SaaS, the ultimate SaaS. I just got it. And in regards to onboarding, I had an onboarding call for myself. I don't think we actually accomplished what we were supposed to do. Anyways, but next, my question is, if I get my first client, is it an automated process where they just go ahead and go through the onboarding with you, and then y'all bill me later? Is that what you're saying?
Correct. So
Like you have my card on file and I'll just get billed?
Yeah. So depending on what plan you got on the SaaS agency plan, our larger plan actually comes with like 25 onboardings that we do on your behalf, included in it, and those don't expire until you actually use all 25 of them. So they could be a year, 2 years for all that matters. Hopefully it's not that long, but hopefully you use them up very, very quickly and get clients in fairly fast. But so the first 25, we'll go through them. After that, the 26th and onwards, you can either go pre-purchase a package. The benefit of pre-purchasing a package is it's a little bit cheaper, right? If it's a 10 pack, it's $129 per onboarding. If it's a 25 pack, it's $99 per onboarding, versus a la carte 1x1 is $149, but it's billed after. The 1x1 part is billed after, once we complete an onboarding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And since you mentioned that not a lot got accomplished on that call, let's get you booked in again, if that's okay, so we can accomplish
Yeah.
whatever wasn't accomplished.
Yeah, that'd be great. The guy that was doing it said I might get a credit for it, but then I did get charged, which it's fine. Because I want to use you guys, but I also, I just got the SaaS Snapshot set up and everything is great, but I need to probably call Patrick was the guy that onboarded me. I need to
Okay.
talk with him because I had from probably like a year and a half ago, like a different like agency snapshot, and they got put on the same thing. And there's some things that are like named the same, and so I have duplicates, and I'm just wondering how is that going to work? You know, I've been going and trying to like make the changes where, but now I have like the SaaS version, you know, the SaaS product, and then I have my agency stuff that I've set up, and some of them are named the same and forms are named the same. And so I'm just wondering how that's going to work out.
The best way to is whenever that happens is you take a look at the date that the particular the older one, and you just go turn all of those off or remove them.
Okay.
That way then you're left with only the newer versions of it.
Okay. Yeah.
Pain in the neck to do that. It's a manual process. HighLevel doesn't have like an automated, like, you know, back out method of whenever you accidentally over install a snapshot or install 2 snapshots into the same account, it duplicates things. Hopefully they'll come out with one, but today it's just a manual process.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And I really like the buttons that y'all added for the follow-up form, you know, after a sales call. I have that text that goes through for the one that I've been using for my agency for just selling agency services like SEO, PPC, websites.
Yeah.
How do I create a button for the form that I've been using? Because it's not included in there. Maybe this is not the right call to ask these questions on, but
Yeah, that's a good question. I personally don't know how to create one either.
okay.
If you reach out to our advanced tech support team, they'll be able to help you with that.
Okay.
It's in the extended dash. That's where the button feature is, where it allows you to go in and create the buttons.
Okay.
Essentially, you're linking a form with it, so it's doing the pop-up over the within your HighLevel and filling in the details of the customer. Then you're able to do the status update.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Well, lots of good questions answered today. I would say it's a success.
Yes.
If you guys have more questions,
Carlos,
feel free to
it's
reach out.
Intentionality.com/onboarding.
Yeah, I got that. My only question is, can you re-explain that you said that you don't pay for it and then you pay for it at the end? I don't.
Oh, yeah. So the a la carte piece is what I was talking about, where you're just buying one of these onboardings that we do for you. So the very first one, you pay for it in advance, right? Let's say you go in here, you pay for it, the team will do a setup call with you, they'll set it up, they'll credit this amount onto your account to use against your first onboarding with your client, right? So that'll get applied to that. And then when your second client or third or fourth or fifth comes through, those will be all billed after their onboarding is completed. And they'll just be billed to the card on file.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Thank you.
Cool. Awesome. So we'll be back here next Friday for an open Q&A. If you have questions, sales, tech, definitely jump on the ones throughout the week or do so anyway, because it's, you know, can't hurt to learn more, right? And yeah, so if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to the support team. If you have
One last thing.
Oh,
Yep.
One last thing is, you don't have to go and pre-buy them, right? Like once you're in, you know, once a person signs up, it'll automatically just charge your card, right? You
Yeah,
don't have to go and pre-buy them.
No,
Okay.
yeah, you don't have to pre-buy an X amount. You can if you want to save yourself a little bit, but you don't.
Yes.
If you don't have a credit on your account, then you're automatically paying for it after the fact.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
cool.
All right,
Great
guys.
call, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Have a
fantastic.
great
Have a
rest
good
of your
day.
day.
Awesome. Thank you.
Labor
By the
Day.
way, the Monday's training is going to be canceled because it's Labor Day. So hopefully you all enjoy, and we'll see you on Tuesday.
Have
All
a
right.
great, relaxing
Take care.
weekend.
Take care.
Want to learn Go High Level in a structured format? Check out the GHLacademy.com by Extendly. We guarantee to save you 6 months of wasted subscription costs for High Level. Just visit the GHLacademy.com.